During the test, we found a problem. When the camera's shooting direction rotates left and right. Pull the left joystick to control the basketball's movement. And find that the direction of the basketball's movement is different from the expected direction. For example, when the camera is facing the right corner of the basketball court. At this time, pull the left joystick upward. We expect the basketball to move toward the right corner of the basketball court. But in fact, the basketball will move toward the basketball stand. This gap may be acceptable to ordinary players. However, when the camera rotates 180 degrees, that is, when the camera is facing the basketball stand at the other end. Let's move the basketball again. You will find that, when we pull the joystick upward, the basketball will move backward. We pull the joystick downward to move the basketball forward. This can easily give players an illusion and seriously affect the player experience. How to fix this problem? Think about it. There are many solutions. First, let's look at the first solution. Since the left and right rotation angles of the camera have been saved in the Ryotiroundi node. When the camera rotates left and right, we can save the left and right rotation angles in the game data class. Then when the basketball moves, the rotation vector is also rotated around the y-axis by a corresponding angle. Next, we will implement it according to this idea. The first step is to add a static variable in the game data class to record the value of the camera's left and right rotation. The second step is to find the control logic of the camera's left and right rotation. In the processing method of the camera's left and right rotation, the angle of the camera's rotation is accumulated. The third step is to correct the movement direction in the basketball movement processing logic. Rotate the movement direction represented by the joystick around the y-axis by a certain angle. The rotation angle is consistent with the angle of the camera's rotation around the y-axis. In addition, in order to prevent unnecessary trouble in the future, we restore the rotation value of the basketball before each shot to the initial value. Save. Run and test. The test found that the movement direction of the basketball is consistent with the direction of the joystick. In order to make the perspective more consistent with the first-person perspective and make the player feel more involved, we can adjust the relative position and shooting angle of the camera and the basketball during operation. Adjust the camera to the position of the basketball player's eyes when shooting. After adjustment, right-click to copy the property value of the transform component of the camera node. Exit the running state. Paste the property value just copied to the transform component of the camera node. Save. Run. The effect is more realistic. For some students who are not very familiar with vector rotation, and those who have a headache with quaternions, we can use the second solution. Think about the way we used the direction of shooting before. We can also create a new child node inside the node that controls the rotation of the camera to indicate the direction of the basketball. When the left joystick moves, publish a movement event and pass the direction vector represented by the joystick. Mount a script on this node and subscribe to the movement event in this script. In the event processing method, synchronously modify the local coordinates of this node. At the same time, record the real movement direction of the basketball in game data. Then get the real movement direction of the basketball in game data in the basketball movement processing method. Below, we will also show you how to implement it. The first step is to right-click the outer parent node of the camera control node. Create a new child node. Named Move Direction, it indicates the real moving direction of the basketball. The second step is to modify the logic of the left joystick movement. In the left joystick touch method, publish a joystick movement event. Pass the direction vector represented by the joystick. The third step is to create a new script. Named Move Direction Controller. Mounted on the Move Direction node. Used to control the real moving direction of the basketball. In the onStart method of this control script, subscribe to the joystick movement event. Unsubscribe to the joystick movement event in the onDestroy method. In the callback function of the subscription method, set the local coordinates of the current node to the direction vector of the past joystick. At the same time, in this method, calculate the real moving direction of the basketball in the future. And store the real moving direction in game data. Finally, modify the processing logic of basketball movement. In the processing method of basketball movement, the moving direction uses the moving direction in game data. Save. Run and test. found that the effect is the same as our solution one. The reason why we tell you two methods here. There are two main reasons. The first reason is to take into account students with different foundations. Let students with different foundations gain something. The second reason is to tell everyone in this way that as long as you are interested and dare to try, you can definitely make your own game. Don't pay too much attention to the implementation method and details in the early stage. When you accumulate to a certain level and encounter problems, your solution ideas will become more and more flexible. At this point, we have basically realized the core gameplay of the first stage. Everyone must practice after class. Now everyone can build scenes according to their preferences.